Chanticleer and the Partlet. Riding with a nun on her way to Canterbury is a priest. He rides a poor horse, but no poor storyteller is he. The tale he tells in the storytelling competition is worthy of Aesop, the legendary Greek slave whose fables won him everlasting fame. Chanticleer and the Partlet, retold from the nun's priest's tale and included in my Bookhouse number 3, Up One Pair of Stairs, by Olivia Beaupre Miller. A widow had a cottage near a grove within a little dale, and in a yard fenced round about with sticks she kept a cock named Chanticleer. In all the land of crowing there was not his peer. His voice was like an organ in the church. His crowing was more sure to tell the time of day than any clock. His comb was redder than the coral fine, his bill was black as jet, his color was burnt gold. This gentle cock had 7 hens to do his bidding, and of these the fairest was Dame Partlet. So mannerly, so wise and gay was she, that Chanticleer loved none among the hens one half so well, and it was joy to hear them sing together when the sun began to shine. Now it befell one morn, as Chanticleer slept on his perch by fair Dame Partlet's side, that he began to groan like one who has been troubled by some horrid dream. "Oh, my dear heart," Dame Partlet cried, "what aileth you?" He answered her, "My love, I pray you, be not troubled by my groaning. But alack, I dreamt that I was in a sorry case. Methought I roamed within our yard, when there I saw a beast, like to a hound, who would have seized me by the throat. His colour was betwixt a yellow and a red. His tail and both his ears were tipped with black. His snout was small, and round and glowing were his eyes. Of him I were afeard." "For shame," Dame Partlet cried. "How dare you say unto your love that anything can make you feel afeard? Have you no manlike heart, and yet you have a beard? What means a dream? Why, nothing, certainly." Her words bring shame to Chanticleer. He heeds his dream no more, but cries, "My Lady Partlet fair, I have such bliss when that I see the beauty of your face. You are so scarlet red about the eye, it maketh all my fear to die." With that he flew down from the beam, and clucking began his hens to call. Royal he was no more afeard. He looketh as it were a grim lion, and on his toes he roameth up and down. Him deigneth not to set his foot to ground. He clucketh when he hath a corn he found, and to him run and then his wivies all. But suddenly a sorry thing befell. A sly old fox that had been living in the grove for 3 long years, that very night had found a passage through the hedge and burst into the yard. There in a bed of cabbages he hid himself, and lay in wait till it was past the noontide of the day, biding his time to fall on Chanticleer. Fair in the sun, Dame Partlet and her sisters lay to bathe them in the sand. The sun shone bright, and Chanticleer sang merry as a mermaid in the sea. But as he cast his eyes upon a butterfly that flitted o'er the cabbage bed, he was aware of this false fox that lay full low. Then had he ne'er a wish to crow, but cried anon, "Cluck, cluck!" and up did start, as one that was affrighted in his heart. He would have fled, but that the fox cried out, "Now, gentle sir, alas, where will you go? Be not afraid of me, that am your friend. I am not come to do you harm. In truth, I only came to hear you sing. You have a voice as lovely as the angels' song. My lord, your father, bless his soul, and likewise your good mother, have been guests of mine, and visited my house. So certainly I wish to please you too. But when men speak of singing, I am wont to say, save Chanticleer, I never heard one sing as did his father of a morning. he would stand upon his tiptoes, stretch his neck both long and small, and that he might give forth the fullness of his voice, would close his eyes, and then how he would sing! Ah, there was never any cock in this land or another that he could equal him in wisdom and in song. Now, sir, for holy charity, shut fast your eyes, and let me hear if you can sing, as did your father in his day. At this, great Chanticleer was filled with vanity and pride, and he began to beat his wings as one that could not see the fox's sly and cunning lie, so charmed was he with silly words of flattery. He stood high on his toes, he stretched his neck, and he held his eyes fast closed, that he might cry his loudest for the nonce. Then up the fox did start, while that the cock had still no opened eye to see. He seized him by the throat, and bore him off in triumph, present fast between his teeth. Alack! Such cry was never made by ladies in that sorry day when Troy was conquered, as those hennies made when they had sight of Chanticleer. And louder than them all, Dame Partlet cried. The widow and her daughters heard the hennies cry and make such woe, and out of doors they ran to see the fox slip toward the grove, the cock fast in his mouth. They cried, "Out, Harrow! Well away! Ha, ha, the fox!" And after him they ran. With sticks and staves came many another, too. There Collie ran, the dog, and Malkin, with a distaff in her hand. Ran cow and calf, and eke the very hogs, so were they feared for barking of the dogs, and shouting of the men and women eke. They ran as though they thought their hearts would break. They yelled like fiends, the duckies cried, the geese for fear flew over trees. Out of their hive came a swarm of bees. The cock, meanwhile, thought out a plan, and thus at length, in spite of fears, he spake. "If I were you, good sir, I would not let this rout of knaves put me to shame by howling all unanswered at my heels. I'd turn about and cry, 'A murrain take you all! In spite of you, I'll carry off this cock and eat him in the wood.'" So Chanticleer did wake the pride in Master Fox. "In faith," quoth Master Fox, "I'll tell them who I am." But as he dropped his jaws to let the words come forth, all suddenly he loosed the cock, who thus broke free and flew up high into a tree. And now the fox beheld how that his prize was gone. Sore was his grief, and yet he thought, "I'll fool that cock again." "Alas," quoth he, "O Chanticleer, alas! I have done wrong to make you so afeard. But, sir, I did it of no bad intent. Come down, and let me tell you what I meant. I'll speak the truth, God help me so." "Nay, then," quoth Chanticleer, "beshrew me if you fool me any oftener than once. You shall no more, through silly flattery, get me to wink and close mine eyes. For he that winketh when he ought to see, God will never save from thee." The end.